Good evening. Now we have another expert with us, Dr. Harsh Mehta from Hinduja Hospital, Nanavati Hospital, and he doesn't need any introduction because he has not left any facet of the cardiology, being it electrophysiology, being it structural heart disease, being it coronaries. So welcome you to WCC
Thank you very much.
2023. So kindly let us know about the presentation that you're going to have today. And in TEVI, I just want to ask, what is your preference for the valve?
So my presentation for today is TAVI. Which valve do I select? Balloon expandable or self-expandable?
Okay.
Well, there's always 80% of cases you can use any valve and it will fit. But 20% of cases you have to decide which valve is suitable for the patient. And in such patients, we look at multiple factors. One is the age of the patient, the body surface area, the kind of valve it is, whether it's a bicuspid or a tricuspid valve, the extent of calcification, the size of the annulus, presence of LVOT calcium, the coronary heights.
Right.
All these factors we take into account before we decide which valve suits
Which
this
person?
person. So in short, I would say, if you have a small annulus, a balloon expandable valve is not a good idea because you leave the patient with a higher gradient and a lower EOA, effective orifice area, which will lead to early degeneration of valve. In such patients, it's better to use a supraannular self-expanding valve. Now coming to lifetime management of AS, which is very important.
Yeah.
We're going to get more and more younger patients with aortic stenosis coming to them.
Yeah.
So if you're going to do TAVIs on them, how are you going to manage them? So in such a patient, first option should be surgery, followed by TAVI and then TAVI. But some patients, if they insist on TAVI despite your explanation, then you should choose a valve which will allow you to access coronaries in future.
Okay.
In such situations, it's good to have a balloon expanding valve where the coronary accesses are easier. And of course, a new self-expanding valve like the Accurate Neo 2 has come, where also the coronary access may be easy. So you tailor your approach. And if you have a bad LVOT out calcium, then balloon expandable valves can cause annular rupture. In such cases, you want a self-expanding valve. But excessive calcium can also lead to excessive pacemaker rates, where the pacemaker rates of self-expanding valves are more than balloon expanding valves.
Right.
So each person has to be tailored as
Okay.
need arises.
So what I got is that TAVI, which appears to be a very procedure that can be done easily by the interventional cardiologist, but there are so many do's and don'ts, like what kind of the patient selection should be there,
Right.
how it should be customized as per the patient.
Absolutely.
So it's not that easy. So you have to be very particular while choosing the valve.
Yes. So as I told you, 80% of the times any valve works. The 20% is very important.
Yeah.
So doing TAVI is not difficult actually.
Yeah.
So doing a procedure is not the problem. It's which one you select, how you do it, which valve you select will guide the outcomes. We are still learning. We still don't know how it's going to evolve in future.
Okay. So you have how long experience? Like since how many years you are doing TAVI?
So I trained for TAVI in 2016.
Okay.
So since 2017 end, we have been independently doing TAVI, so almost 6 to 7 years.
Okay. And since so many years, like 6-7 years, what is your take on TAVI? Like how it has it has evolved in so
Right.
many years?
So TAVI when we started was very nascent and we really didn't have too many patients. People are not aware of TAVI. But what TAVI has changed, that the inoperable aortic stenosis, which were left to die,
Yeah.
are now getting treated. So that's the significant change that has occurred. And the perception in the public has changed that surgery is the only option for valvular
Yeah.
heart disease. And the third thing it has changed, especially you have seen patients with poor LV function and aortic stenosis. And I've seen the moment you put the valve, in 3 months, most of them normalize the LV function.
Okay.
So the results are really, really satisfying once you select your cases well.
Okay, so TAVI has come up with a great success in terms of more of life expectancy, which was
Absolutely.
previously not there.
Absolutely.
And acceptability is also very, because it's not a very that kind of invasive procedure that is with the open surgery with the
Right.
valve replacements. And one more thing, because WCC is basically female oriented society and it is the female cardiologists who are doing it on annual basis
Sure.
under the leadership of Vincas.
Right.
You being a male cardiologist, what is your I will ask, what is your message to the female cardiologist, and how do you see the female cardiologist in near future in India?
Right. So, I'll tell you a fact of life. I'm the only male in my family. So, I have twin daughters, I have a wife, and maid in the house.
So many
So, I'm
females surrounding
used to
you.
women around the house. So, I'm really happy that women are taking a lead. And this gender inequality, in some time, is going to end. It's changing in India also. It's going to end. Women should stand shoulder to shoulder.
Yeah.
In fact, I remember my teacher and my grandfather used to say that if you want to educate a family, you educate the woman of the
Women,
house.
family. Yeah.
Which I
that's true.
sincerely believe. If the woman of the house is educated, your family is educated. So I think that's where it comes for you. WCC is a huge success.
Yeah. Thank you so
And
much.
I'm glad
sir.
to be here.
Yeah. Thank you so much, sir, for your valuable time.
Thank you.